Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. Hope you're having a great Friday today. Our house guest of the day is Thomas Milligan. Thomas, thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon in the description below, our Patreon link. And down there, you will also find a link to Paramount Plus if you want to check out the live feeds. And if you use our link, it really helps us out. So we appreciate that. All righty, let's get into it because we got some tea to spill. Okay, so last night, Brooklyn, Cam, and Chelsea were up on the block. And together, they delivered 3 of the most abysmal performances we've ever seen in the AI arena. They were taking so long to figure out those clues that after a certain point, Big Brother straight up gave them the answers, and it still took forever for someone to win. Hello. Oh, hi. So Chelsea finally won. So she was off the block and safe for this vote. So we had Brooklyn versus Cam up on the block. Brooklyn, as we saw, was evicted by a vote of 8-1. Chelsea was the one vote. And it was, your standard sympathy vote. I believe Chelsea did tell everyone after that it was her. So there was like no confusion about that. And everyone was fine with it. There wasn't like any drama surrounding that. But Brooklyn, I got to give her credit. She really tried to say, she put in the effort campaigning the last few days, but even just like during that 2 minutes before the vote, she really went for it. And I respect that she fought to stay. Unlike Cam, who keeps giving us nothing. A little effort would be nice. But anyway, it's just funny to me that after all of that potential vote flip buildup, it didn't even matter, right? Because it wasn't Chelsea versus Cam up on the block. I'm just curious now if any of that vote flip talk will come back to bite anybody because some of those people are still in the house, right? Brooklyn's out. Cam is gonna find out that people were trying to get rid of him if he was up next to Chelsea. And I'm curious too if Tucker is gonna be upset that his own allies were trying so hard to go against his wishes and flip the vote. We'll see what happens, but the feeds stayed down last night until after the HOH competition. So far this season, they've been bringing them back before the HOH starts, but not last night. So they came back around 9:51 p.m. Big Brother time, and we find out that T-Core won HOH. Woo! Crocheters Unite. And it turns out it was some sort of a memory competition that had to do with sounds. I guess you had to remember different sounds and then answer questions about them. So congrats to her. It's a big win. And when the feeds came back, Chemo and Rubina were crying in the bathroom about how proud they are of T-Core. They're so happy for her. Those two cried a lot last night, especially Rubina, like tears of joy though. They agree, like they believe in her so much, and it's just so nice to see her win when she just doubts herself. She's so special, she doesn't even know it. Oh my god. And like all these things they're saying are so nice. And Chemo says, we really just need to make sure we're protecting her from other people trying to get in her ear this week. So then T-Core comes in. They all do a big group hug to celebrate her big win. And honestly, watching this, it was like Chemo and Rubina are T-Core's parents at like her college graduation or something. Like she just accomplished this huge thing. Now she's about to go out off into the world. Like it was very sweet. But T-Core is ready to get down to business. So she asks, when I have my one-on-ones with everyone, what do I do? What do I say? What do I ask? Do I ask people questions? And they're like, yes. Get as much information as you can. You have all of the courage that you need. Don't be afraid of anyone. I'm getting like college grad vibes. But anyway, Rubina says, you only have so many options of who can go up. So nobody can take this personally. I mean, the reason why she doesn't have a lot of options is because she's aligned with like a lot of people, almost everybody. So I think some people would take it personally. Just because she is aligned with everyone doesn't mean like she doesn't have options. You know what I'm saying? So like some people would be upset to go up on the block. But T-Core says that Chemo, Rubina, Chelsea, and Tucker are all safe this week. She is not targeting any of them, of course. And Chemo's like, all right, cool. When you talk to everybody, make sure you're listening, let other people talk, and just let them talk themselves into being pawns, right? Because we still have 3 people going up on the block this week, and then they will face off in the AI arena again on Thursday. So they're really holding on to this twist. But I have to say, it is making things very exciting on Thursdays. So T-Core says she would like to limit all of her one-on-one chats to 20 minutes maximum, right? She doesn't need people droning on forever. And honestly, I applaud that because oh my God, some of these people, when they get in there to talk to the HOH, they just do not shut up. And I don't blame her for protecting her peace. But she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm scared. And Rubina's telling her, don't be scared. We've got you. We have your back. And we love you. Okay. So T-Core makes an announcement to the house. She lets everybody know she's going to be starting her one-on-ones now. Again, 20 minutes max per person. And Chemo is up first. I feel like maybe she should have done somebody else, like let Chemo wait until the end so then you can talk about what everybody else said. But I think she wanted to kind of like ease into things. We'll come back to that one-on-one in a moment. But no one really seemed to know what T-Core is going to do. Also, there was like a super weird vibe uh in the rest of the house after the feeds came back. So like you have T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina celebrating in the bathroom, but then like a lot of other people were hanging out in the kitchen dining room area, and it was just like silence. Like I don't know if they were just all really tired or they just don't know what's going to happen, but it was a weird vibe. Mackenzie's saying she doesn't know if she should be worried or not. You should probably be worried. Honestly, excuse me. She's still blabbing about some Underdogs Alliance, and okay, this was from like weeks ago, and the original Underdogs Alliance flopped before it was even finalized. This was something that I believe Rubino was trying to get together with Joseph, I want to say Tucker, Chemo, T-Core. So it's basically the Sixth Avenue Alliance with a few switches and swaps. But Mackenzie is just hearing about this Underdogs thing now, and she's just like, I think it's a thing. I think it's happening. So she is watching for that. And then we have Chelsea and Cam chatting, and they're talking about how they're probably going to be stuck with Tucker for another week because they don't see T-Core taking the shot at him. Yeah. I mean, you never know though, because we know that T-Core feels like she can't beat Tucker in the end, right? I don't think anybody really feels like they can beat Tucker in the end, except for maybe Joseph, because he's Delulu a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so you never know what's gonna happen. All right, so T-Core begins her one-on-ones with Chemo, and they were both eating ramen during this discussion, and it was an experience. I'm sorry, but oh my God, it was too much to listen to, especially because like they're whispering. So you're like turning that volume up and it's in your ears. And then all of a sudden you hear a loud, like, bleh. No, it's too much. And then the the chewing is too much. Okay. So anyway, Chemo says, no, sorry. T-Core is wondering right off the bat, would Tucker be willing to go up on the block as a pawn this week? It's too late for that. You cannot be doing that, especially with Tucker. Okay, it's one thing if you're going to put up a pawn, but you're going to use Tucker as a pawn? Unless you want him to go, which I think she probably would want him to go. You can't be putting up Tucker as a pawn this late in the game because people are after him. But maybe she really is just trying to take this opportunity to get him out by accident. I don't know. But Chemo says Tucker is probably not going to want to do that, but he might be willing to, right? He might just take one for the team and go up on the block again, especially if it would cover that they are working together. So Chemo is trying to figure out what should T-Core do this week. So he says, once you take away all of our allies and people like Chelsea that we're not necessarily aligned with, but that you don't want to put up, who are we left with? And he names off Cam, Leah, and Mackenzie. I mean, I think you just found your nominees, right? But But T-Core, she doesn't really know what to do at this point. Chemo says this could be the last week before the jury starts. So who do you not want to be on the jury? But she doesn't know. She doesn't know. Chemo suggests putting up Makensy, Cam, and then Tucker as the pawn if he's cool with it. And then if the veto is used, put up Leah. And he says this works because you're putting up people that we're not really aligned with besides Tucker, who would be volunteering. You don't have to get your hands dirty with any of our allies. So T-Core's like, yeah, but I like Leah a lot. She says, I really don't want to put her up. I wouldn't mind her being in the game a bit longer. So T-Core says, why don't I just talk to everyone and then we can decide what to do after that. So we're going to come back to T-Core's one-on-ones. But first, we have Tucker and Chemo chatting in the back bedroom. And Chemo's like, I'm not sure what T-Core is going to do because there aren't that many options. Again, the reason why she doesn't have that many options is because she's working with like everybody. I mean, there's like what, 11 people left in the house at this point, so So Tucker is feeling out like, is it possible that T-Core would target Chelsea this week because that's who he wants to go. But no freaking way. Oh my God. T-Core was putting in so much work this past week to make sure that Chelsea would not get evicted if she was still up on the block. There's no way she's going to put Chelsea up on her own HOH. So Tucker says, I know they had like a first week deal, but I don't think anything from that first week is real. So she doesn't like have to honor that. I think T-Core would say differently. But Chemo says, I think she's probably going to protect Chelsea in this HOH. So Tucker's like, okay, fine. What about Quinn? Quinn, Cam, Makensy, they could be good up on the block. Maybe Leah. I don't know. So then Tucker says, if she needs a pawn, she can use me. No, Tucker, you cannot be doing that anymore. Look at what happened to Cedric. Look at what happened to Cedric during Tucker's. No, that was during Quinn's. During Quinn's deepfake HOH, right? Cedric volunteered to be a pawn. He had no idea he was going to be leaving that week. And then look what happened. So Chemo's like, I don't know. I don't want anyone from our group to have to go up on the block. I mean, he was suggesting it earlier, but now he's like, no, I can't have my Tucker go up on the block. All right. So a little later, Tucker and Rubina are celebrating T-Core's win together. And you could just tell both of them are just so genuinely happy for T-Core. And Rubina says this could not have worked out better. They're both crying. Tucker says he's feeling like a proud parent. Not that T-Core is a kid at all, but he's like, I get why parents cry when their kids do stuff. So Tucker is saying it was just the most beautiful win. Dang, he's like really invested here, and T-Core is ready to just like cut him loose, which is wild. So Tucker starts sharing his observations with Rubina because, as you know, he is very good at picking up on body language, trained for the FBI or whatever. I don't know. So he says, I was watching and Cam pretty much fell asleep on the stage after T-Core won. How does anyone fall asleep at a time like that? That's a lot. But he says Cam was not very excited. Also, he feels Leah's reaction to T-Core winning was very fake. And he also says he still doesn't trust Quinn. But he tells Rubina, I'm going to tell T-Core, just do whatever she feels is best, and I will support it. But also, Makensy, Cam, and somebody else going up on the block would be good. All right. So, meanwhile, Cam and Chelsea have a chat. And Cam was like actually talking some game for once. What? I was not expecting this. So Cam says there is a solid alliance of 4 that they need to look out for. T-Core, Chemo, Rubina, and Tucker. Yes, we know that is I still don't know how to say this. Frenzies, that alliance. Friends with 4 Z's. That's them, right? And Cam says, if I won HOH, I would have put up 3 of them. I think this is what he said. Honestly, it was really hard to hear him during this conversation because he was whispering very quietly. But I'm pretty sure he was saying he would have put up Chemo, Rubina, and Tucker, and then hopefully they could pull T-Core in with them. Good luck with that. Like, you can only evict one person at a time, right? But anyway, Cam says everyone is afraid to put Tucker up on the block except for the two of us and maybe Leah and Quinn. And it would have to be a backdoor at this point. And I know somebody was saying, like, you can't backdoor with the AI arena in play, which of course we know. When I say backdoor, I mean like put them up as the renom, not as one of the initial nominees. So they have one less chance to take themselves off the block. But anyway, Cam again is saying he does not see T-Core putting Tucker up on the block this week. I mean, she might actually, right? If Tucker is really serious about being a pawn here, T-Core might be putting him up. But Cam is saying we need numbers moving forward and we should try to pull Leah back in. She can be a number for us. So he's crawling back to Leah after he was all, I'm never talking to her again. But Cam thinks that he could potentially be going up on the block this week with Angela and Makensy. We'll see. All right. So Chelsea asks him, did you tell T-Core what Tucker said? And then the feeds flip. What did Tucker say? I don't know. We don't know, but we didn't get to hear that. So that's a little fishy. But anyway, when we're back to them, Cam says there has to be a way for us to get through that 4-person alliance, right? We need to break into that. So he really wants to try and make a final 2 with Tucker so that he can get information from him and then use that info against him. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Meanwhile, T-Core is continuing her one-on-one chats. And I'm just going to go through the highlights from these because it would be really tedious and boring to break down every single chat. But anyway, she talks to Tucker. And Tucker is crying, telling T-Core how proud he is of her and telling her you're going to inspire so many people. Yeah, introverts. But Tucker then shares his body language report, right? It's the same thing he was telling Rubina earlier. Cam, he was falling asleep. Leah didn't seem genuine, yada, yada, yada. And he's telling T-Core, to thine own self be true. Okay, Shakespeare. And he says, you know what? I really don't want to go up on the block, but I will offer myself up as a pawn because I have made that offer to other HOHs in the past, and I want to make that offer to you as well. No, that was a different point in the game. It was stupid back then. Yes, it worked out, but like you can't be doing that anymore. Tucker also suggests some combination of Quinn, Leah, Cam, Makensy as options to go up on the block. And that's that. All right. Angela has her one-on-one and T-Core lets Angela know, I'm trying to keep 6th Avenue safe this week. So you're good. You don't have to worry. But T-Core was asking everybody, like, if you were in my position, if you were HOH, who would you put up? Which 3 house guests? And if they didn't want to name names, she would be like, all right, well, what kind of player do you feel is a threat to your game? So T-Core's asking Angela, which 3 would you put up? And Angela says, oh, I can't do that. It makes me too sad. What? So Angela tells T-Core, if you're struggling with who to put up, you should let Chemo and Tucker advise you on that. Like, I can't tell you who to put up. Oh, Angela. Okay. Leah has her chat with T-Core, and Leah is all over the place as usual. She says that T-Core should put up people who don't talk any game with her, and she takes this opportunity to throw her, I can't even call her bestie anymore. The person who's supposed to be her bestie, Makensy, throws her right under the bus. She's like, yeah, Makensy told me that she doesn't really talk game with you or Chemo. These two both love to throw each other under the bus, but mostly Leah throwing Makensy under. So Leah was also throwing Tucker out there as a possibility. Ooh, he blows everything up. And she says, I want to see Rubina play her own individual game so badly because she wants Tucker all by himself. But she also said, like, she's not saying Rubina should go. She's saying Tucker should go so that Rubina plays her own game. She says she does not want the showmance to be Rubina's only story in here. Well, right now, your only story is being jealous and talking crap about people. So you might want to look at your own situation first. Cam has his chat. He says he feels like the number 2 target behind Tucker, even though he hasn't won anything yet. And he feels like if people can't get Tucker, they're just going to try and get him out as the next best thing. And Cam says, I just don't trust many people right now. I mean, a lot of his allies have been taken out recently. So he's running out of those. But he says he wants to go to the end with T-Core, Chemo, and Chelsea. He's saying, I can be loyal to you. I can stick my neck out for you. I mean, Cam, he's not really doing much at this point, right? I gotta sneeze. Okay, thank you. All right. So yeah, at one point, this was the crazy part. At one point, thank you. Cam asks if he would have gone home against Chelsea if they were up on the block together. And T-Core says, yeah. She tells him straight up. I mean, at least she was honest, right? So then Cam's like, yeah, I kind of knew that. Did you? Like, did you know about this? Because he did nothing about it. That makes me sad if he did have a feeling he would go home and he just, like, did nothing about it, didn't try to campaign or anything. Maybe he's just, like, too proud to be like, wait, what? I don't know. But let's talk about Joseph. So before Joseph had his one-on-one with T-Core, he was checking in with some of his other 6th Avenue allies like Rubina, Chemo, and he was trying to convince them that Chelsea should be going up on the block this week and that Leah should not. He was really trying to push for Leah to stay off the block this week, saying she could be a number for us, she loves us, blah, blah, blah. This dude is freaking in love with Leah. He is really trying to keep her off the block. So he talks to T-Core and he's like, I think that Chelsea should go up. Cam, MJ, and Chelsea. And he's like, I know you're good with Chelsea. I know you're friends with her. She's not going anywhere. We have the votes to keep her safe. She's not putting Chelsea up. So then T-Core lets him know, Tucker told me that he would be okay with going up as a pawn. And Joseph's like, oh, yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea either. We could do that. Anything, right? As long as it's not Leah. He is, he's in deep, it seems like. He better be careful. Joseph is then saying, before the convo's over, all right, people are going to be asking me, like, what we talked about. What should I tell them? And he's like, Leah is going to be asking me what we talked about. Should I tell her that she's safe this week? Can I tell her that? Oh, my God. Dude, no. So T-Core's like, you can tell her that I have not made up my mind yet. Uh-oh. But I mean, really, I can't believe he's asking that. So then she also talks to Quinn, and Quinn suggests Cam, Angela, and then he's like, I'm assuming Tucker volunteered to go up because he's bored. And he was right. He was kind of right. So those were his suggestions. All right. So then T-Core got her HOH room, and it was already like after 1 a.m. at this point. She got pics of her family, her boyfriend. Her music is Beyonce. Woo! So now we know why Beyonce wasn't at the DNC. I can't believe that all whatever last night. But anyway, she got a nice ass HOH basket. She got really cute sunglasses, crochet earrings. She got perfume, Fenty stuff. Like she got Fenty, Rihanna. And she got a letter from her twin sister, which was so sweet. Her sister was talking about how she knows T-Core is like way outside of her comfort zone right now. And she was talking about how it's inspiring her to really put herself out there. So it was adorable. Very, very cute. Yeah. So after the HOH room reveal, Makensy had her one-on-one with T-Core. And Makensy was like, I don't want to go up. She really wants to be there. She wants to keep playing. She's like, I've got no one. We know. But she says, I trust you, and I would not put you up if I were to win HOH. So she offers up Quinn and Angela, as potential nominees, which is not really a surprise, right? So she's been sticking with those 2 nominees for a long time now. Meanwhile, Tucker chats with Chemo, And Chemo's asking Tucker, "Did you really volunteer to go up?" Because I believe Joseph went to Chemo and was like, "Yeah, so I guess Tucker's going to volunteer to go up." And Tucker's like, "Yeah, I did offer," but he says, "I do not want to go up on that block." He really was just offering because he felt like he had to after he offered it to other people, other HOHs. You don't have to do that. That's not how it works. But Chemo was like, no. So Chemo checks in with Rubina and they agree Tucker cannot go up on the block this week. It's way too dangerous, way too risky. So they say, like, let's just stick with putting up people outside of our alliance, the 6th Avenue Alliance. So, in other news, Big Brother was hiding something from us last night. Apparently, somebody said something that upset Chelsea so much that she was crying, and we don't know who said it. We don't know what was said exactly, but we did not get to see T-Core's one-on-one with Chelsea. That was not on the feeds. But we did hear Rubina tell T-Core that someone said something inappropriate regarding race. So again, we do not know who this was. I mean, earlier there was that whole Chelsea asking Cam, "Did you tell T-Core what Tucker said?" That could be something completely different. We don't know. I'm just going through the facts here. And then we also heard Tucker saying, "I hope Chelsea's okay." And he said this has Leah written all over it because, as we've discussed before, apparently Leah has gotten in trouble with Big Brother at least 4 times for saying inappropriate things, and also that Leo character that she was doing during like the improv nights. So he thinks it's her. And then at one point, Rubina was like, "Oh yeah, somebody said something that upset Chelsea," and I'm trying to think of the exact wording. Oh, she said like, "You're not gonna like it," and then Tucker was in there too, and she was like, "It's not about you," like it was somebody else. So I don't know. I'm not going to say it was Tucker or Leah. We don't know, but I'm just letting you know what we have heard on the live feeds. So that's what we're working with. The rest of last night slash early morning, because they were up late. Rubina told T-Core she doesn't think it's a good idea to put up Tucker. It's just too risky. We'll see. And Joseph told Leah, no matter what, he's always looking out for her. You might be hooking up your game to a sinking ship. On a related note, Chemo has been noticing how much information Joseph is leaking to Leah. They know now that Joseph told Leah about the collective. He told her about that Underdogs alliance that never really came to fruition, etc., etc. So they are definitely keeping an eye on all of that because they're like, whoa, how much can we trust Joseph here? He's spilling info to Leah. Also, Leah spilled her own info to Joseph. She told Joseph that she checked and the box of condoms in the HOH bathroom has been busted open. So she knows that Tucker and Rubina have been doing stuff. They've been fornicating sexually. So, yeah, she's all up in arms about that. She's like, "I'm not judging. I don't care." I think she cares. Okay. So then the feeds were choppy for the rest of the early morning because of the Chelsea situation. Maybe. I don't know. Anytime somebody started to talk about that, it seemed like they cut the feeds. Also, the Friends, Forzies, Frenzy, whatever alliance met up, and we didn't get to see that meeting, which is a bummer because I would have loved to have seen that. And then the feeds went down at 4:25 a.m. Big Brother time. So they stayed down for a long time. They did not come back until 1:45 p.m. Big Brother time. So I don't know if this had to do with the inappropriate comments regarding race or maybe the AI instigator. Maybe they didn't want us to see any of that. Maybe, I mean, there's also theories out there. Maybe they were just letting everyone rest for a bit longer since everybody was up so late last night. I mean, that's possible. It seems like they're being much more lenient with like people needing to nap and all that this season, mental health and all. So that is also a possibility. Who knows? But when the feeds came back, everything seemed normal. I'm not really sure what we missed, but we did hear a quick chat between T-Core and Rubina. And T-Core's like, "I talked to Tucker. He said he's cool with going up." Is he going ahead with like volunteering to go up? Rubina, during this conversation, also offered to go up either as a pawn as an initial nominee or as a renom. She's like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. What? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this on your allies HOH? No, stop. But she told T-Core, whatever you need, I'm willing to do it. No. So nominations are happening today. If you check back later, I will post the nominees in the description for this stream. I guess Tucker's going up as a pawn. And then I don't know who the other nominees are going to be because we missed so much. I don't know what was ultimately decided on. I'm assuming it's going to be some combination of Cam, Makensy, Leah with Tucker, like some of them with Tucker. I don't know. But who knows? It's hard when we miss so much, you know? But anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate all of you. And I want to thank today's super chatters. Camila Gamba, thank you so much. And Camila says, oh, hi. Hello. What the heck is going on with Leah? I know. Cam's a snooze. Nice to see a new winner. Much love from the hubby, Billy and I. Oh, hey, Billy and Camilla. Yeah, it is nice to see a new winner. I feel like we've been getting that a lot this season. Well, aside from Tucker winning, like everything. But other than Tucker winning, I feel like we've seen a lot of other winners, which is really nice. And it's not like just the same jocks winning everything over and over again. So that is very refreshing. And I'm curious to see how T-Core is going to navigate this week, especially with the AI instigator twist coming into play. So we'll see what happens. But Janine Honberger, thank you so much for the super chat. And Janine says, I was so happy to see Brooklyn walk out the front door. She was such a mean girl. She ate Angela's food and unnecessarily threw the clothes. I would have been so mad. I definitely would have been annoyed about the clothes too. I saw a little bit of Brooklyn's exit press interviews, and she was giving her thoughts on everybody. And I think she's very jealous that Angela is still in that house. It's the battle of the married mothers. And yeah, she had a lot of things to say about everybody. So I would love to see her reaction to finding out about the Michael Jackson memes, but I don't know if we'll get to see that. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow to do another live stream about the feeds. And I hope you'll join me for that. So until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Have a great Friday night. Bye.